Needle coke shows obvious cost-driving characteristics this year. From the beginning of the year to the present, the cumulative increase of oil price is almost 50%, which directly increases the cost of oil-based needle coke by nearly 6,000 yuan. However, the increased range of needle coke price is not so large, that is, 3,000 or 4,000 yuan. The profit of needle coke is obviously diluted. We have recently communicated with some coking enterprises in Shandong. The profits of these leading enterprises are basically only about 10%, with a sharp decline in profits. Recently, with the sharp decline of aluminum price and a large number of imported resources to the port, petroleum coke price has been corrected by nearly 2,000 yuan, but low-sulfur petroleum coke price is relatively strong. At present, the supply of low-sulfur coke is relatively tight. Basically, the production of low-sulfur coke has been reduced by almost 5%, because it is mainly used in anode industry, so the market resources are still relatively tight. At present, desulfurized coke is basically the main resource. Prospect of needle coke market. The overall supply of needle coke is still relatively tight. On the one hand, the demand for anode materials has a rapid pulling effect. On the other hand, the expansion of needle coke production capacity is not as good as that in the early stage. In the early stage, there was an annual increase of 300,000 to 400,000 tons, and then it basically entered a relatively gentle growth period, so the overall supply was still relatively tight. And the new projects this year, including several projects in Shaanxi, Shandong, and Hebei, are basically all coal series, which are relatively restricted by environmental protection. The cost and capital pressure are relatively large and the competitiveness is weak. Therefore, it is not easy to predict how much capacity will be released in the future. Generally speaking, we think the supply of needle coke will be relatively tight.